The next segment is titled Journey to the End of the World, Social Media. Social media, which is what pretty much everyone is on here the minute the panel comes off. Everybody is into their instruments, posting on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is. And today presenting on behalf of Facebook is Ankur Mehra. He is the head of India Media Partner Development at Facebook. He has 17 years of work experience ranging from the army to entrepreneurship to corporate environments. He has carved a niche in new business development. Please come up on stage and take a seat. Strategic alliance, media partnership, business environment analysis. There is fundraising and analytical interpretation, venture turnaround and client relationship management. An alumni of the Indian Institute of Management, Symbiosis Institute of Management, and a Prince 2 project manager, he declares that he is best at meeting challenging and once impossible deadlines. Diwaker Chandani and Jasleen Taneja, please come up on stage. And I'm leaving the stage now with Ankur Mehra.
All right, hi everybody. But what I'll do is, instead of taking you through the entire slides that we had for this event, we might as well just keep it like an open session. Actually have you guys talk about if there are any questions around social media, around Facebook in general. But the idea was to, generally introduce ourselves to you, talk a little bit more about what do we do, where do we come from and all. I do here in the last session, we were talking about, how journalism is changing, how entertainment is changing, how digital is taking over, how ways of storytelling are getting sharper, crisper, shorter, and how audiences are kind of relating to it. So I'll be more than happy to kind of talk about those issues today. As a means of introducing myself, as she mentioned, my name is Ankur Mehra, and I wear 3 hats in Facebook. One is that I lead the language media partnerships, which means that I work across all language markets, whether Bengali or Tamil, Telugu, Gujarati, Marathi and all. We work with the A+ partners, A+ media partners in all of these different languages. The second role that I handle is that I also work in the scaled media partnerships outlet, which means that I also work along with Jasleen in handling all the torso and the tail partners across all languages in India. And the third bit, which is not related to this audience here, however, is that I manage the social good piece in India, which means that there's a blood donations product that we have here. Anybody is aware of that here? No? Okay. So I lead that piece over here, and tomorrow is World Blood Donor Day, so we are like pretty much in a different zone today. So that's the third piece that I manage. But for the audiences over here, we'll stick to the first 2 pieces. And what I wanted to kind of emphasize upon here is that while on Facebook, up till a few years back, we used to only see a lot of support from a platform end being passed on to more or less the A+ level partners, whether they were news partners or they were entertainment partners or they were sports partners. What we figured out gradually is that a lot of India really resides out of those A+ partners actually. There's a lot of traction, there's a lot of community that is in regional markets and vernacular language markets. And as we kind of roll into 2019 and beyond, we really need to tap into that particular space where content creation is taking a whole new format, a whole new shape, a whole new language to itself. And that's why I came in and the team came in. Diwaker over here, he heads the media partnerships for the West and the North cluster, which means that he works with all the media partners in the West belt and the North belt of India. We also realized later on that, while we are setting up those regional heads will end up only working with those A+ partners in those languages, while again, there's a massive, massive chunk of content creation that happens in the torso level, in the tail level of the partners, Where are those and how are we going to support those emerging creators, those emerging storytellers, and where is it as a platform that we can stand and shake hands with them and, be more collaborative from where we are. And that's where Jasleen comes in and she kind of leads that effort. So like I said, rather than going into the normal spiel of what we do and how does newsfeed work and how do your algorithms work and things like that, it'll be, I prefer actually, and if it's okay with you guys, maybe you can keep it as an open Q&A. Shoot any questions that you have, bouquets, brickbats, welcome everything. We are happy to learn. I know we are not doing a very good job, by the way, in supporting our partners when it comes to the, not the A plus and not the A to B kind of level partners. So feel free to let us know how we can do better. We are still learning, we're still work in progress. Happy to take ideas back from here. And if there's any way that we can work with any one of you who's got a Facebook presence and Facebook or Instagram presence, and you are an influencer or are a creator or an emerging storyteller, please let us know. We'd be more than happy to kind of shake hands and have extend our support. By the way, we've also planted one person in the team within the audience. That's Rowena over there. At least she can start asking questions, if nothing else. But yeah, I mean, just fire away. Diwaker, Jasleen, you guys want to add anything?
Hello, everyone. So I closely work with Ankur, as he mentioned, and in fact, because this forum is about content, filmmaking, script writing. So in fact, I began my career as a producer, and that was my claim to fame for the longest time before I had a paradigm shift. So it's quite interesting, when you're sitting on this side of the dais and, you're trying to help build the communities, you exactly understand what needs to be addressed, as one of them. So, we are glad we are here today and, happy to exchange wisdom. Love to hear feedback. Love to understand how do you look at our support and how we can sort of better it. How can we help you drive more value out of the session today? And anything else that comes to your mind?
So I explore a little bit on Facebook, and I do realize that there will be possibilities which we may not know about, whereby, or maybe that could be something that you can help us develop from within Facebook and Instagram. Like supposing we have a show that's going on and we want to get feedback instantly or over a period of time about it, how people reacted to certain characters, how people reacted to certain situations, a certain storyline. How can we use, because what you reach out to is such huge numbers in different segments, audience segments.
Yeah, I think mostly the platform is built in a way that the feedback is actually real time. So we do work on a lot of events, we do partner with a lot of media events, etc. Wherein, we use live as a medium, Facebook Live as a medium of kind of reaching out to audiences and all. And the best thing is that we do get to know immediately whether it's working or not because of the comments and the likes and the shares and the engagement that broadly happens on the platform. But apart from that, let's say for Center for Media Studies, if there is a particular body that you have, or if there's a particular page that you have in which you need to kind of find more detailed out information around insights and analytics and all, I can happily work with you offline this, and we can definitely deep dive with you, understand what's working, what's not working, how are your audiences reacting to what kind of content, what time of the day, which day of the week, It does require, it's just not a one-way street, because it's just not about us giving insights in terms of what the page is doing, but it's also about how regular the page is in terms of posting content, what is the volume of content that's going up on the platform and all. And that kind of indicates some kind of a trend line to us, which we'll be happy to share with you. Also, of course, once your page kind of grows up in size and all, Jasleen's team manages a team of relationship managers. These relationship managers will work very closely with you. They can work on the content plan, they can work with you on, say for example, just saying, not because it's my business, but because it's World Blood Donor Day tomorrow. So what is it that, your page can do to kind of create awareness and that kind of resonates out to a larger set of audiences and all. So things like that we can definitely work on. The relationship managers are trained on certain aspects of kind of coaching their partners on what the video mechanism should be, how could they make better videos, what are the new products that are coming in, how can we whitelist them for new products, etc., etc. Those are the areas. Jasleen?
So we help all our partners with, best practices across products. So, for video, what kind of video you should be making. For advanced partners, even content strategies. So we do come up with suggestions even on content side. And for all our partners, we do provide, analytics support. So let's say you have a lot of audience on the page, but the engagement is still dropping. What could be the reason? Should you be posting content on a particular time of the day? Should you be, targeting your content to a particular age group? So we, apart from guiding you on the best practices, we also have analytics support which plugs in. So it's like a two-pronged approach. So we guide you on the best practices as well as help you advance from there on.
Also, we were talking about the Change Narratives Alliance. We are like some 55 or 60 partners. All of them have pages. What are the ways we can, I think Diwaker and I had spoken about it, that which way could we align these pages so that we can get maximum, we can leverage maximum visibility for the Change Narratives Alliance, which is actually a really unique alliance of several partners. If somehow Facebook can help us leverage that.
Right. To add that, we have several products where you can integrate with different pages. In fact, one of the strongest product feature that we have, which I was going to talk about today, is cross-posting. So typically, when content is being originated from one page and you're looking at a wider audience, you do a cross-posting. It's a basic handshake from the back end, and the content goes as a native post. So for example, if Minta, you posting some content and you cross-posting it to my page, my followers think it's a native post from my page. So the content discovery is high. You get the additional reach which is coming to you from my page. So while I enjoy the reach of that content on my page, you enjoy the aggregated reach from as many pages as you go cross-post your content. In fact, there's a very interesting use case. One of the regional films that did not have enough money to really do the digital promotions. They went on cross-posting their trailer across 100 different pages, and they have huge amount of...
Honest politician.
Yes, had a huge amount of organic engagement on that trailer. I can even, I don't have the numbers right now with me, but what I can recall faintly, I don't want to commit them here, but those are great numbers, to talk about. In terms of, educating these 60 pages, because the second question you would say, Diwaker, look, I know cross-posting, but how do I have the other 60 people? Exactly. So for that, we have definitely several programs. We have a program called Education at Scale. What do we do is we host a lot of workshops. So for example, if tomorrow UNICEF is doing an event and they want their partners to understand how they can leverage Facebook organically, we step in and we have this customized workshop material, which basically makes you understand the basics of the platform and how you can scale yourself, collaborate a lot more across. So we have these programs in place, and we try and and we have different programs. We have programs around creators, influencers, publishers, entrepreneurs, and so on.
Myself is Param, and I'm a short film producer. I just want to ask that if something I like in some Instagram or some Facebook, then how you handle the IPR? Whose IPR is this?
So if you're familiar with the YouTube rights management system, we have a similar tool called content management at Facebook. And that content management tool is exactly meant to kind of protect IPR. So it's currently in a beta stage. It's not rolled out to all the partners. There is some qualifying criteria for a partner to be eligible for content management tool, content ID tool. I think one of the basics gating criteria are around the volume of content that goes up. And when I say volume of content, it means volume of original content that really goes up. And then also in terms of the size of the page, in terms of the frequency of the content that's going up and all. I think those are the 3, 4, 5 criteria that kind of combine together. And then those pages are whitelisted for content ID, and then, it just follows the same principle of rights management on the YouTube system.
Sorry, when you mean partner, I know that you have certain verified content creators or personalities who are partners with Facebook. Is that what you mean?
No. So I'm glad you asked this question, because I was hoping abhi tak pucha kyun nahi kisi ne verification wala question. So verification is not about we'll only work with the verified partners. We work with media partners. Now some of them could actually be non-verified partners also, who start working with them, and then we apply, or they apply for verification and all. Verification is a very straightforward process. Verification as a program was built to protect the identity of those people who could otherwise be misused on the platform, right? So for example, if there's a Priyanka Chopra, there could be a chance that there'll be fake Priyanka Chopra accounts, and people would be misleading other people by posing as Priyanka Chopra and all, and taking her photos or stuff like that, which is very unhealthy for the image of that person otherwise, and also for the platform at large. So similar such cases, and what we do was we actually ask anybody who thinks that his profile should be verified to actually apply on the platform. There's a very standard mechanism of kind of reaching out and finding out whether this profile is relevant or valid enough for verification or not. That doesn't happen in India. It goes off to the US team, some third-party team it goes out to, and they kind of validate each and every application for verification on a as-is basis. And if they meet the criteria for verification, the accounts are verified. We start working with them even before. So there are many of our partners who are non-verified. They are very small right now because, like I said earlier, we do work with the torso and tail partners also. So these partners are very small right now. They are few thousand followers and all, and they are not even verified right now. But we work with them, and if they start growing up, like basis on what Jasleen and her team is kind of working on and all, when they start growing up and they organically start adding more and more followers and they start getting better at what they're doing, then they apply for verification and all, and they sometimes get it, sometimes they don't. But it's a very it's not right to say that we work only with verified profiles. We work with all profiles, verified or unverified.
Okay, thank you. My next question, I think there are a lot of content creators here, and one thing that we really struggle with Facebook is how it promotes content is very opaque. How discovery works on Facebook. Obviously a lot of times the most obvious solution seems to be to pay for discovery or to pay for reach. Often you get temporary reach from strange accounts that you don't know of, or you get some reach from Spain or somewhere, or depending on how you target the post and so on. But that reach goes away as soon as you stop paying. Is there any tips you could give us to generally increase reach and engagement organically? Is there a program? I believe you offer a course called Blueprint or something. Would that be a good starting point?
Sure. Let me address you. There are a couple of things in your question. So Blueprint has a free version and a paid version. What Blueprint does, you typically, when you start uploading content on YouTube, you do a YouTube course, which basically helps you understand how you can monetize on the platform or how you can use the AdSense of Google. Similarly, to use Facebook ads or audience network platform, which is of Facebook's ad platform, you need to understand how you can advertise. What are the different formats of banners, scrolls, etc. that you can use. So basically what Blueprint does, it kind of gives you a primer on advertising on Facebook and Instagram as a platform. However, if you are a digital media company or you're managing multiple accounts and you want to have a deep dive in terms of strategies and spends on Facebook, you can also do a paid program of Blueprints. But to be very honest, as a starter, Blueprints, spend like half an hour, finish a couple of modules, and you are a starter. I mean, you can pretty much understand how it works. Because I have come across, because we manage partners, and I have realized people don't even know what is my ad account number. So if I have to add money, where do I go and add the money? Right? People really don't know how they can use different forms of ads on Facebook. So Blueprint is for that. Pressing your question on reach, see, there are two formats typically. So Facebook, basically has a algorithm which basically publish about 1500 content pieces for each user the time you log in on Facebook. Okay, and it's purely basis your consumption, your behavior. So we have an interesting couple of slides on that. I mean, we can take it offline and I can even talk about that more in detail with you. But for the larger audience, algorithm works in a way that it basically tries to give you content that you would consume. So for example, say you are at the airport and you have a friend flying from Delhi. Okay, you've asked her to have lunch with her today, and while she's in the aircraft, you can't call her, right? And you want to guess what should I order because you're hungry and you realize she'll be hungry by the time she lands. So you make a choice. Okay, she likes non-veg. It's an afternoon. Okay, this is the kind of food she should eat, and you make a choice, right? So similarly, Facebook algorithm makes a choice, and gives you content which is best suited and would interest you, because this platform, for its user, it entertains you, informs you, and connects you, right? So basis that we kind of populate your timeline. As far as the paid reach is concerned, see, if you're a new page, you've just made a page and you have 50 followers, and you're looking to basically, grow in a very short time, and, you have a campaign or you have a movie releasing, you would buy the paid ads like how you would buy anywhere, be it on Google or any digital platforms. So these are three different things typically, how I would like to answer.
Yeah, and I think only thing that I can add to this is that, I mean, while me and Diwaker and Jasleen are good friends, all of our news feeds look different, okay? And it is absolutely a function of what are likes, dislikes, what are the groups we follow, who are the friends, who are friends, and what kind of groups do they follow. How much time are we spending on watching content? So example, if in your news feed you're getting 5 different types of video content, you might be engaging more with one particular type of video content as compared to the others, and that will start surfacing more. So, there's the newsfeed is very, very customized to the kind of experience that you would have on the platform. All of us, while we might have similar likes and dislikes, will still have different and very unique news feeds. This is basis a function of sometime back when we rejigged our algorithms to something which is known as meaningful social interactions. We call it MSI. And MSI was basically picking up those signals to find out whether I'm meaningfully engaging with a particular piece of content. If I am, then that piece of content is something where Facebook would probably choose to kind of show you more of, as compared to the rest. So it's not really about only boosting a piece of content which will show a spurt in a particular period of time, but I would rather suggest that do not use only paid boosts. Actually invest more in terms of building the right meaningful content that can have more interaction on your video, and that will probably show you better and far more reaching results as compared to just spurts in paid boosting and all.
And on our platform, earlier we would give, say, significant importance to likes, but now we look at the comments, we look at the shares, we even look at how long is the comment and how meaningful that comment is. If the comment says, hey, the video is good, or the comment says, you know what, this video is great, it tells me how to get up every day morning and exercise. So we are going that detail and trying to make it very, very contextually relevant, for each one of you. We call timeline as a thumbprint for everyone. So even though you have a same demography, still you will see different content, like how Ankur said.
So for a civil society organizations, I wanted to ask you about the kind of support or mechanism or methodology that you may have for helping us run campaigns. For example, you talked about blood donation. We've just launched a short film festival for the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India, and our organization on short film festival on air pollution. So air pollution is a very topical issue and it's very important right now and everybody's concerned about it. And we wanted to use social media to be, kind of drive that whole movement, not just to get entries, but actually engage people on that issue. So how and what can Facebook?
There are two sides to it. In terms of NGO, maybe you want to take it up because social good, you will be good at addressing that. In terms of guiding you, so for example, I was hearing NFDC in the session before. So NFDC is one of our partners. We support them for the last 3 years. We've really been entrenched with them in terms of their films, their festivals, and even we have our presence there to basically guide the budding directors and talent to understand how they can use platform better. Our workshops, like I said earlier, they are the key to understand how the platform works, because this team is a pure non-commercial team. There is no commercial involved, it's a free consultation that you get. However, like how Ankur mentioned, the support structure changes, right? So if you are a large creator who's churning out 50 videos a month, you will need a different support, and then somebody who specializes in that domain will step in. But if you're looking to just understand how you can build communities on Facebook and drive certain objectives, then maybe Jasleen can step in, and guide you and help, that community of people that you're trying to build. So that's one piece. In terms of NGO support, because Ankur heads that piece, I would hand over to him.
I would love to know a little bit more about before I am able to, go and deep dive on that. But maybe Vinta, you can help us connect and maybe we can, take it from there.
So we engage in sharing content which is sort of positive, or which we would recommend people to stop and read, right? And we also focus more on making real connections, right? Like people that, with connections that actually result in business or work and all. And I felt that, negative sells more, right? So the negative videos, the negative comments, they obviously get more likes and get more comments and stuff like that. So how are you dealing with it now? Like it's become better than before, no doubt. It's better than what it was 2-3 years ago. But nevertheless, even now when I see the performance of various community groups, pages, and posts that we put out across various stuff, the balance is still in the favor of.
No, you're right, and actually, it'll never be probably completely eradicated. I mean, there's always going to be this effort has been an ongoing effort, and it's always going to be a work in progress. Like you rightly said, from where we were to where we are much better off. I'm sure tomorrow will be even better. We don't have a sure shot fixed remedy of kind of making it all just vanish one night. The thing is that people are like, even if a platform kind of does a lot of things to kind of curtail, bad news or fake news or things like that, it ends up innovative people come up with innovative ideas even more, right? So they keep on kind of taking the system for a ride again. We are heavily invested on taking this away. I don't know whether you've been following our social posts and all that we do. We've literally invested in 20,000 people more to make sure that we are able to fight this menace much earlier and much better than before. But it will always continue to be there, and we'll always continue to fight it with newer means and all. So we are working on it, and that's all I can say really. It's always work in progress.
Okay, I'm from UNICEF, but I'm not from the social media team. And we have UNICEF is the only organization, perhaps among the UN organizations, that has split communication into two parts. So I work on the communication for development piece, which is more to engage with people on behaviors and social change. And we have a team that works on social media and image of UNICEF and issues, bringing children-related issues onto the social media space. I don't work with that unit, so I wouldn't ask questions there. I think they're already in touch with your teams, and and we have a global agreement with Facebook, so I wouldn't go into that space. I just wanted to understand a bit better on what you're doing in languages in India. You mentioned something about expanding with languages, because that's my constituency. Okay. The young adolescent who's in Dehat, Kanpur, and is on Facebook. So what are you doing in that space, and a little bit more about that?
Yeah, but I can only speak from the media partnership lens, because that's where our universe is. From a media partnership standpoint, we cover about 13 languages in India, which are right from Bengali to Malayalam to Punjabi, and even the Northeastern. We've also recently expanded into Odia. We've set up, partnerships in the Odia market and Bhojpuri market also. So our aim is to primarily lend support and have a footprint in those markets which were earlier never really attended to. We wanted to make sure that we are there, we are talking to the industry over there, we're talking to the media folks over there, whether they are from the news industry or they are sports personalities or they are individual media influencers. We are kind of working with them closely to kind of provide them all kinds of media partnership support, which was otherwise just available for mostly English and Hindi partners. Jasleen is also setting up a team of relationship managers who will be working very closely with the torso and tail partners. You might know that there's a lot of content creation that happens, but a lot of content creation that happens in Delhi and Mumbai is still just a minuscule part of what happens in the vernacular language markets, and so is the engagement over there. So from an audience engagement standpoint, A+ actor, for example, in Bengal has actually got more engagement than an A+ actor in prime time Bollywood, right? And so we are always trying to kind of find out ways and means in terms of making those partners connect better with those communities, whether irrespective of whichever language they might be in. And Jasleen, you might want to speak a little bit more about that if you...
Yeah, so again, from a media partnerships lens, because there's a lot of demand for vernacular content, given the the new era of Reliance Jio, where everybody is kind of on phones and looking at content, and everybody is kind of digitally aware. There is demand for content, and therefore there is a lot of content creation which is happening in bilingual or multilingual languages. So from that aspect, we are supporting a lot of media partners who are upcoming from a language perspective. So we are in the process of setting up team to currently we do have support, but we are gonna take that a step further by having dedicated support for languages. So that's again from a media partnership lens.
This is little funny question, if we can have the end note on a funny note. I am still not able to understand why the session was titled Journey to the End of the World. So if you can connect these dots and...
They should answer that one actually. It should be Journey to the Beginning of the New World, right?
Yeah, actually, best is that we were trying to communicate, and finally I said now outreach, and the furthest you can go is to the end of the world. So let's journey to the end of the world to make it generic as well as like committal to anything.
Even I felt very spiritual about it when I read it,
Okay.
maybe I should wear my spiritual hat today. But anyways, thank you very much for your time, people.
Thank you.
Thank you.